People often ask me if they should host an offsite, and I gotta be honest, I'm a pretty big fan. So today I'm going to take you through some reasons that I'm a fan and how to actually structure an offsite so that it achieves your objectives. I'm actually going to be hosting an offsite for the next 2 days, so I thought this was a good opportunity for me to share, why we're doing it, where we're doing it, and kind of how we're doing it. So let's do the where first. I'm hosting it here at my cottage. We've actually got bedrooms set up. I've got an outdoor bunkie set up. I've got my TV connected so that if we want to hook up laptops, monitors, you can see I've got a flip chart. I've got a table all set up where everybody will sit, but I've also got counter space, etc. I have tons of snacks in here underneath. That's chocolate. But I also have lots of healthy food as well. We got pretty things all around, lots of fruit, lots of vegetables, lots of great food. So I do think that ensuring everybody feels comfortable is priority number one. So to me, that's the first key step. Step number 2, everybody needs to understand why they're coming. Like, what is exactly going to happen in this next 24 to 48 hours? Are they just coming to have fun? Are they coming to talk, work? What's the deal? And so about a month ago, we planted the seed that we're going to have the offsite. Then we've continued to bring it up at each of our Monday morning huddles. And then about 2 weeks ago, we actually roughed out an agenda and shared it with everyone and got input. What should we or should we not include in the agenda? And in fact, there were a lot of new additions to the agenda that came up. So some things we've decided to park, some things we've decided to just include in our daily or weekly huddles. But then there's some other things where we're making some big change that we thought it was important that we go through it as a group here, put some ideas on the table, and then discuss them and really plot out how they are going to impact the entire group. So we've come up with an agenda that we actually feel really comfortable with, and everybody has now seen the agenda so that they're aware of what they're coming into. They're aware not only of break times, but food occasions, when we're gonna chill, when we're gonna be focused, etc. So that kind of gives everybody a comfort level as to what's gonna be happening personally as well as professionally, and it allows them to also noodle it over in advance of them actually arriving here, which I think is key, because I think often what happens is that we set the expectation that there's an offsite, but we don't necessarily give everybody the opportunity to think it through prior to getting here. And sure, there's some things that we might want to spontaneously do on the spot, but there's also, we have to recognize that different people think differently, and some people would like to noodle things over prior to actually showing up at a conversation so that they can think through the impact on the company, the impact on clients, the impact on themselves. So I'm planting that seed for you as you work through your agenda. Then today, once everybody's actually on site, we actually will have different people weigh into different parts of the agenda and lead the session. And I think that's really important. I will obviously act as a moderator, but I think it's important that those who own the process, own the work, are actually stepping up and have that opportunity to share their thoughts with the team, plant the seeds, and then get everybody's input. And so we've done some work obviously in advance in preparation for this. And I think that that's important. I think the preparation in advance, so that although we've asked people to noodle it over, but I think once they arrive, out of respect for everyone that's coming to the table, I think it's important that we have everything prepared, because obviously everybody is taking their precious time. And while some of this is definitely on work hours, some of it is definitely on personal hours. And so it's impacting their time with their family, their friends, their loved ones, etc. And so I think it's important that we are respectful of that. So that said, when everybody also comes to contribute, I think it'll be a warm environment. So hopefully I've set the tone for that. So we've got a warm environment. They know what the sustenance is. We've even shared all the different food that will be here. So if there's any issues or concerns, we can fill those gaps or they can bring food themselves. We've shared sleeping accommodations and how that's gonna work. We've shared the agenda. We've allowed people to noodle it over. And now we've set the stage for a successful day. When everybody arrives, admittedly, what we're going to do is we're going to chill for a little bit and just let everybody get comfortable. And then we're actually going to eat lunch. And over lunch, I'm going to set the tone for the afternoon ahead. And if we weren't having lunch, I would still let everyone kind of noodle things over. And then I'd ask everybody to come to the table with their drinks or refreshments. and we would then set the tone for the day ahead. When we share the agenda again, and even though we tentatively have it finalized, I am going to ask everybody, is there any new additions to the agenda? Is there anything that has come up for you in preparation for the next few hours that you would like to put on the table? And so we will add that to the list so that we ensure that at the end of the meeting, we have checked off everything, checked off all the boxes of all the things that we want to cover. You know, I always begin meetings by saying, let's begin with the end in mind. What do we hope to get out of this? That was the mindset that we went into when we were actually setting up this offsite, and that's the mindset that I will actually greet everyone with when they actually come to the table, and then we kick off the meeting. Then of course we're going to kick off the meeting. We've got some great discussions planned. I've got some extra little things at the table so that if people get bored and they need to fiddle, they'll be able to fiddle. Obviously we'll have papers, pads, pencils, the whole deal so that people can feel comfortable. We've also asked them to bring all of their tools. So what do I mean by that? Obviously we'll walk around with our cell phones in our hand. I'm gonna ask everybody to kind of put that off to the side, but in their personal off to the side, not off in a basket or bowl somewhere. I feel like that is a little bit too abrupt, and we all have personal lives and family. I like to be within reach for my family, so we'll all align that we're not going to answer our phones or answer messages unless there's a 911 or a need from loved ones, and otherwise we'll just put our phones off to the side, personal side. But I've also asked everybody to bring their laptops, not because I want us to sit here with our laptops. In fact, I don't. I actually don't want laptops on the table. But there is the possibility, because we are making so much change in the organization that I'm working with today, that we might physically make change today. So we may set up some spreadsheets, we may set up some processes, we may change some things. So by having our laptops with us, we can take this offsite one step further and not wait until we show up in the office to actually get this change in motion, when in fairness, we're going to be distracted by everything that's going on. We're actually going to make the changes here and get everybody to align to the changes that we've made. It doesn't mean that these changes aren't going to change again, because in fact they are. We're going to grow, the people are going to change, technology is going to change, but we need to put a stake in the ground right now. And so we'll put a stake in the ground, and if we want to actually dive deeper, then we're going to do that today and tomorrow. And I am a firm believer in that as well. I am a firm believer that if you can build in time to obviously have breakout sessions, to have discussions, that's important. But I think it's even more important to actually have the breakout session and have a productivity output so that you're actually making the change that you want to see. Famous words, be the change. My words, make the change. So we'll actually do that today as well. Other than that, I think I've covered off the key things that I want to share. I think that offsites are worth it. I've tried to share with you a bit of a framework as to how I'm setting up this offsite. It's going to have a combination of team building as well as some work, and if you can see out the windows behind me, I live on a lake and I'm on the point, and so we've got Sea-Doos, stand-up paddle boards, kayaks, canoes, the whole thing happening. We've got a whole bunch of fishing rods, we've got floaties, you name it. So obviously we're waiting for the sun to come out, but I'm hoping that's going to happen soon. And as luck would have it, we have an incremental team unplanned bonding experience because I live on a long country road, and so there's a tree that's halfway down across the road, and though I carry a chainsaw with me in my Jeep, I am quite short, and so I couldn't reach it in order to loosen it so that I could actually chainsaw it. So after recording this video, I'm actually going to walk out to the road and see how the tree is doing, and is it in a spot now where I can actually start to saw it down and clear it. The good news is the company that is coming for the offsite are a manufacturing company, and a lot of them live in northern areas, and so they have chainsaws, so they will be coming with their chainsaws as well. So sometimes, you know, the universe serves up an extra little team bonding experience, and so always good to be prepared for that. So my background is in event planning and in event management and making crazy events happen all around the world, and so little did I realize that this quiet little planning offsite that I was going to be creating today would have this added little spice to it. But you know what? That's the spice of life. And so we'll make the best of it. I mean, that's all you really can do in these situations. Net, I hope I have shared with you why I think offsites are important and how to structure yours for success. Obviously, if you want to know more, happy to help you with that, happy to host one with you, for you, or coach you along the process. So don't hesitate to reach out. You know where to find me. All the details are below. Have a great day.